Sports lovers, welcome to Med Sports TV. I'm Med, and this is Africa's first choice online sports portal. This episode is about unified welterweight champion Errol "The True Spence" Jr. He is in final negotiation to face former unified champion Keith one-time Thurman. They are in the final stages of negotiation, and this fight is being speculated, or is being said, according to Mike Oppinger, to happen at the junior middleweight division. So this is good news, but I have a lot of questions. But let me give you the tweet from Mike Oppinger before I bring out my questions. Errol Spence and Keith Thurman are finalizing a deal for a PBC on pay-per-view fight that is expected to take place in April, sources told ESPN. Spence holds 3 welterweight titles, but this matchup will take place at junior middleweight, sources told ESPN. WBA President Gilberto Mendoza told ESPN that he granted Spence a special permit to fight outside the weight class without relinquishing his 147-pound title. He also holds the IBF and the WBC belt. Spence will have 60 days from the fight, Mendoza said, to close a deal with long-awaited undisputed welterweight championship bout with Terence Crawford. If not, Spence must defend his 147 belt against the winner of the fight between Virgil Ortiz versus Imantas Estian. So the fight would be happening at the junior welterweight division. Why is it so? Are both fighters struggling to make weight, or one of them is struggling to make weight? I think it's Errol Spence who is struggling to make weight. He doesn't want to put his body through the stress in order to fight Keith one-time Thurman, because Keith one-time Thurman did not give him the opportunity when Keith was a champion. And Errol has stated categorically that he would never fight Keith one-time Thurman until Keith one-time Thurman made his way undeservedly to become the WBC mandatory champion. I don't know why, because Keith has not been an active fighter for the past 5 years, and he has less than 4 fights in 5 years. So I don't see how he even became the WBC mandatory. He even lost to Manny Pacquiao, came back, just fought 1 fight, and he becomes a mandatory. I don't know. I don't see why. But all is boxing politics, and you can never say never to anything in boxing. In boxing, all is possible until the dotted lines are signed. Even if they are signed, you can never count out some shenanigans. Now, Errol Spence is struggling to make weight, and he doesn't want to put his body through the pain and fighting Keith one-time Thurman. That means even if he loses to Keith one-time Thurman, he doesn't lose the belt. He comes down to the welterweight division that has a pound limit of 147 and face Crawford, who we heard Mendoza states that they have 60 days in order to make negotiation, or he fights the winner of Virgil Ortiz versus Estanios. So it's going to be an interesting fight. Pay-per-view, how much will the pay-per-view be? Because PBC has not done greatly lately on their pay-per-views, but let's see what happens in this particular fight. I think Keith would be taken to the body workshop. Errol Spence, who is a vicious body puncher, would do great damage to the body, and I don't see the fight going beyond 8th or 9th round due to the inactivity and the ring rust of Keith one-time Thurman and his vulnerability to the body. So I see Errol Spence winning this fight within 9, maximum 10 rounds. Errol Spence would have made easy work of Keith one-time Thurman. This is my take on this particular fight, but we all want to see undisputed, the best fighting the best. But my great question is, will Errol Spence come down to negotiate for Crawford, or he would just vacate the belt and move on to the 154 division, and Jamal Charlo then relinquishes his title, also moves to 160, then his brother moves to 168. Yeah, all that is possible. In boxing, you can never say never. So maybe it may be a plan just for Errol Spence to fill his body at 154 and see how he's doing. Then they finally make a move to 154. He leaves the title at 1. Then it becomes vacant for everybody to fight. But like Porter said he suspects the fight would rather happen at 154 than 147. And that is it for this particular episode. Stay positive. Remember, there is no limit to greatness. If you have not subscribed to Mesports TV, please do now. Thank you. Au revoir. Bye bye.